All right, so now we're talking about pentatonic scales, right? Pent meaning 5. A normal major scale has got 7, so do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? Well, so pentatonic gets rid of the half steps. So if you think it's C to, when we back to the original, it was whole, whole, half, right? That's a half. And then whole, 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 half. So it's the mi, fa, and the ti, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So it's, you end up with these kind of half step things that can be abrasive. What the pentatonic scale does, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1. So a lot of worldly music, a lot of simpler music, a lot of just really kind of fundamental sounds that we know of being musical is pentatonic based rather than diatonic, which is the major scale. And what's great too is that these work based on, they work a la carte with the chords. So if I'm in key and then I go to G, I play that pentatonic, F. Right? So they work even if I'm in a different key. Generally speaking, the pentatonic will sort of follow along with the chord. One thing I talked about here in this chapter is the A minor versus C. So this is relative major versus minor. This is kind of an interesting thing where every chord has its minor. So C and A minor share all the same notes for scales. So if I said do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, start an A, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, right? It's the same scale. It's like they call this modal, but that sound when we play our pentatonics, so that's what's happening. I'm starting on that note, even though they're basically the same. G, E minor. This is sort of memorization, right? It's always the 6th scale degree of the major. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is your minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're up to D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, B minor. So D. And then B minor. And I said to play the B minor from the Songwriter chord sheet. So that kind of chord just sort of fits this scale shape. But these are great. We can create lots of things like just going through. Obviously, the way I'm playing right now is more bluegrass oriented, but it's kind of universal for any kind of music. You can do as much as little as you want with it. A and so when we get to the key of A, this is an interesting one because notice that I'm barely hitting an open string, right? No open string yet, other than the A. Then I've got my B open, then E. So a lot of times I'm playing this A where I'm barring. A lot of times I'll use that A if I'm doing a pentatonic. Right? F sharp minor, this is bar chord world. And we haven't talked about bar chords just yet, but start to look at them. You may skip ahead and come back, but this is a good one for that. Let's move on to F, another bar chord. I included this one because we do use it a lot. It's not listed in your general scales. It's not listed that way. If you want to learn more about that, these Improvise on Guitar books, the volume 1 goes through that pretty in-depthly, goes through all your scales really in-depthly. So for now, we're just kind of maybe take an octave, you know, just take that little part, same with D minor. I think it's useful, but you know, we didn't cover that whole scale yet. E major. So there, I'm gonna just stay that all in first position. And then that C sharp minor. This is where there's not an open position chord for it. I'm kind of doing this as a triad, but don't even worry about it. It's more just kind of the general knowledge that is, you know, the 6. And when we cover bar chords, you know, this will be more of an ear training exercise to where those notes are. All right, you know, as you continue with this, you know, just think about pentatonics. They don't have the jarring note, but you know, we'll learn further that, you know, you have combined pentatonics that those notes all together end up making the notes of the major scale. So it's not that we're really skipping. You don't have to only use pentatonic. You don't have to use major scale, but they work together. You know, it's just sort of a way of taking an arpeggio and building upon it a little bit. Same with that, you know, what we were doing with the chord theory. You know, we were sort of adding notes to everything. We're sort of just trying to expand upon G, C, and D. Just branch out a little bit.